Alright, so we've been outside working on the greenhouse. Did a good meal out there. Now we come in and we have some vegetable soup and some chili left over. One of the big things in homesteading is canning. Now you have to get all your stuff together. Here's all my jars that's been sanitized, my lids to be heated up into this pot of water. Here's my pressure cooker. Yes, it's a little bit of overkill, but it's going to do what I want it to do. I had to get the big one because we can a lot of stuff. Now what we're going to do, let's get our jars over here like this. Get your funnel and a ladle, and you're going to scoop it out and ladle it right into your sanitized jar. Very important to make sure your jars have been sanitized. Put it in there. You see the little air bubble right here? Shake it down. You want to leave that gap there. We've got at least one more jar of vegetable soup here. We like to take all our leftovers that we can and can as much as we can. Can. There's a lot of cans there. Just like the old timers used to say, waste not, want not. So one day when we're out working, it'll be real easy to come in, open a jar of this, and get it right on in, and have you a good hot meal real quick. Now we're going with the chili. This chili was made with deer burger that I had canned earlier. Hadn't done a video on it yet, but we will. Again, you want to shake it, get all them air bubbles out, and leave you an open space. While we're doing this, we got water heating up in our pressure cooker. You got to get the water heated up. And depending on what area you're in, depends on what PSI you have to do it at. The elevation we're at, we have to do it at 10 PSI. Another thing you can do is use a knife, stick it down in there like that, and that'll work all the bubbles out. This one can use a little bit more in it. Probably not that much. Oop. You can do this, pack it down in there. Get too much, you just rake it out. Zoe likes being in here when we do this because she gets any scraps that fall. Don't nobody tell Becky about that. You've heard me talk about Zoe in a couple of videos. Sit. Good girl. Zoe is our homestead dog. She actually helps us out quite a bit. So she thinks. Take your knife and just pack it down in there. And there's not enough left to do another jar. So get all our stuff back over in the sink. Grab us a paper towel. This is very important. Take your paper towel and clean the seals of the top of each jar very well. You want to get all that off because it's going to prevent your seal from happening. And if that happens, then you got to worry about botulism and everything else. Or, to me, worst case scenario, your food going bad. As you can see here, we got 5 jars. That's 5 meals ready to go. Water in the pressure cooker heating up. And now our water's getting hot to put our lids in. You put this in here because it just helps to seal, helps loosen the rubber seal up. It doesn't take that long. Use a little magnet piece here. and lay it right on the jar. I like to get them all on before I start messing with the rings. And ideally, that is the way to pick it up. You can set it right on top. Right on top. Take your lids, and you don't want to wrench them down, you just want them finger tight. You still hear Zoe down there walking around waiting for me to drop something. And then we get them finger tight. Important thing is to have all your tools ready to go. This is for picking the jars up to set them down into the pressure cooker. You pick it up like this, and you'll go right down into it once the water's boiling. Water's starting to steam, we can stick them in there now. And for our area, 10 psi is what we're looking for both vegetable soup and chili. So now we got them in there. You can see the steam starting to come up. And we're going to wait for it to come to a boil, then we'll go to the next part. So our water's fixing to boil. So I'm going to hand the camera to Becky. I'm going to take your lid, get your lid put on and locked in. Now if you look right here, you can start to see steam coming out. Very little bit. That steam's got to vent for 10 minutes, so we got to get a good stream of steam coming out of there. We'll be right back to show you that. Alright, so there you see it venting. Some people freak out because they see it over here. That little red dot down in there is actually a safety feature. When it gets to pressure, this little red piece here will pop out and it makes a lock in here. It's a safety mechanism so you can't open the lid while it's under pressure. Some people were wondering what type of pressure cooker I'm using. This one's actually brand new. My lovely wife just bought it for me, I guess for Valentine's Day. It is a Miro 22 quart pressure cooker. It comes with 3 weights. Depending on the area you are, you're going to have to research it. It comes with a 5, a 10, and a 15 psi. Our location, we're going to use the 10 more than we do anything. So once it vents like this for 10 minutes, we'll get the 10-pound weight put on it and we'll go from there. So we've been boiling for 10 minutes or steaming for 10 minutes. See the safety features pop out. You can't unlock it. 10-pound weight's on there, but you do not start your timer yet. You have to wait till this thing starts rattling like that on its own before you start your timer. There it is. It's at 10 psi. See the weight spinning, and it'll rattle to relieve pressure as it needs it. So now we're good to start our timer. Step right over here. And now we just wait 90 minutes. Still going. Now you see it's really getting with it. That's what you call a rock when it's rocking like that. Time wise, still 70 minutes. Now, we turn the heat off to it. Do not pull that weight off. Wait for it to cool down, let the pressure stop. Once it completely quits pressurizing, then you can pull the weight off. So now that it's completely done venting, you can pull your weight off with no issues. Always put it back up where you know where it is. Safety piece is gone. And now we're going to take the top off. No pressure. Always have your tools. And I like to let mine and sit on a towel. You're going to have some leakage, don't worry about it. Usually I let them sit overnight till the seals down on them. You'll actually hear them start popping. And once that pop goes, you're good to go. These will be good for roughly 6 months to a year. Thank y'all. Please follow for more. Have a good night.